Hey guys, welcome back to another video. If you guys are thinking about renting out a condo here in Bangkok, or really this could be used pretty much throughout Southeast Asia, whether you're an expat, a digital nomad, or a long-time traveler, hopefully this video will save you a lot of headaches. I've rented dozens of condos throughout Southeast Asia now. And today I'm going to break down what exactly you should look for before signing that lease here in Bangkok or really in the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Cambodia. And make sure you stay until the end because I'll also share some insider tips on avoiding scams and getting the best deal. Stick around for today's video. Pack your bags, don't hesitate. Gio, let's go before it's too late. Time keeps slipping away from us, keep living. Guys, so Bangkok is massive and the traffic is no joke here. So the first thing I've learned here is that your first priority should be location and access. For me, the first thing that I told my agent, and I have a great agent, by the way, I had told her, I said, I want to be within 500 meters or closer to the BTS, which is the SkyTrain, or the MRT. That is imperative. I do not want to be taking shuttles to get to the BTS or hopping on motorbike taxis just to get to the BTS. When it's rainy here, the rainy season's no joke. I wanted to be somewhat near to the BTS. So I've discovered here in Bangkok, for me, and a lot of expats feel the same way, that they're looking at the neighborhoods, which these are BTS stops, Asok, Thong Lao, Prampang, An Nut, and Prakanong. These are all great areas that expats like to live in, also Ekamai. Now, again, these are very popular with expats. Are there other great areas? Yes, there are. Just depends where exactly you want to be. I wanted to be somewhat in this neighborhood close to the BTS, again, within a 10-minute walk or about within 500 meters of the BTS or MRT. And you also got to consider what's around you. 7-Elevens, laundromats, little convenience stores, gyms, street food. So Bangkok is very walkable in certain pockets, but it can be really hot in the hot season, so it can be very unbearable for a lot of people. So you don't really want to be too far from daily essentials. By the way, a little pro tip, make sure you check the area at night that you're interested in. Some of the sois or streets, the little side streets, could have barking dogs, could be noisy with bars. So just kind of check also at nighttime. Don't just check during the daytime when the agent shows it to you and you're like, oh, this is perfect. No, come back at night, check out the neighborhood, see what happens during night as well. So number 2 would be the building and the management. Listen, not all condos are managed equally. Some look great online, but feel completely different in person. Make sure you check out how clean the hallways are, how clean the lobby is, how organized the mailroom is, and how clean and how nice the elevators are. All of that matters. Whether security is actually attentive, are they using key cards to get in, or can anybody just kind of walk in? And does security or the front desk staff at least speak basic English? You may want to ask about like maintenance response time, guest policies, how strict they are with having guests come over or overnight guests. And you also want to know whether short-time rentals are available like Airbnb, whether these are allowed or not. These can affect your comfort and privacy sometimes. If you got people just coming in and out of condos around you, just turnover of people are here just a few days who don't really care about the rules and who are noisy, that's not a good situation to be in either. And this is where good management makes all the difference, especially if you plan on staying 6 months or longer. And that is where you start to see the deals here in Bangkok. Most of them, you're not going to get good deals at a 6-month lease or 3-month lease, which are even hard to come by. Year leases is where you get the better deals. And I've seen people sign 2- and 3-year leases here. That is not something I was personally comfortable with doing, but I did sign a year lease. So rent, deposits, and contracts. Most landlords here in Bangkok are going to ask for a 2-month deposit plus the first month rent. That's completely normal. Now in the Philippines, I was always telling people, negotiate, don't ever do 2 months deposit, only shoot for one because if something happens and typically you may not get your deposit back. Well, Bangkok, it's a little different. Typically, you will get your deposit back as long as you leave the place in the same condition. And always read the contract, especially the notice period for moving out, usually about 30 days. The responsibility for the utilities and the internet, make sure you're clear on that. Penalties for any kind of early termination if you had to leave. What's the penalty for that? And another pro tip, avoid paying any deposits before you've seen the unit. I've had viewers of mine reach out and say, hey, can you help me find a condo? I'm okay sending the deposit. I just want to have something when I get there. It's just not worth it. Just get a hotel and you can find a condo very quickly and move in very quickly. I got here and I think within 8 days, I literally had my condo. In fact, I had the condo before that. I think I had the condo on like the 3rd day and I just arranged to move in on the 1st. And also make sure you verify the owner's ID and your agent's license. You can verify, you can ask for verification on that. And if you go through an agent, also remember, you don't pay the agent fee, the landlord does. That's the way it works out here. And also usually the Philippines and other places. You don't ever pay the agent's fee. And number 4, the unit condition in inspection. And before we continue, just a quick tip. A lot of people forget this little thing. Pick up one of these. It's on my website, GIOINTHEPHILIPPINES.net. Click on the Geo Travel Essentials. Pick up one of these. Very great to travel with. This will plug into any plug throughout Southeast Asia, Africa, US, South America, Europe, wherever. And you got multiple plugs that come out on these. And you've also got multiple ports here for you to plug in at. And this is just great. You can plug all your stuff into one. I've moved into places where there's like one plug in like the living room. Or you check into a hotel and there's literally just one plug. Or my cord doesn't fit into the wall. So make sure you have one of these. You can pick it up on my website at GIOINTHEGO.net or GIOINTHEGO.com. Click on Geo Travel Essentials and you can pick it up there, along with all the other things that I recommend for travel out in Southeast Asia or really anywhere in the world, to be honest. Back to the video. So when viewing the condo, take your time. Don't worry about the agent or the owner sitting there waiting for you. Turn on every air conditioner, turn on the faucet, turn on the shower, all the light switches, check for mold, leaks, pest droppings, look in the cabinets in the back, make sure there's no cockroaches or ants. Bangkok humidity can cause some of these problems. I got lucky. I moved into a place that I have not seen one ant, haven't seen one bug, anything. I mean, I checked that out. I even wanted to see the trash room to see how clean they keep that. And make sure everything works before you move in. And also make sure you take videos and photos on your walkthrough. This way you can avoid disputes later on. And if you're going to stay long-term, make sure there's good ventilation as well. Windows that actually open, a washing machine that drains properly, even turn on the washing machine. And number 5, amenities and building quality. Bangkok condos, they can be luxurious. They really can. I've seen some major high-end condos with just amenities that would blow you away. I mean, virtual golf in the building, office workspace, pools, hot steam rooms, saunas. I mean, just amazing stuff here that you can get in Bangkok. You know, the rooftop pools are amazing. I got a great rooftop pool on the 25th or on the 26th floor here, plus a gym and a garden area and a steam room. But a lot of times these features look a lot better in pictures than they do in person. So you want to make sure, are the gym machines working? Is the pool actually clean? Do they maintain the elevators, the air conditions on a regular basis? And some of the older buildings have larger units, like this one, for example. It's an older building, but it had larger units, but fewer amenities. And that was actually okay for me. I thought it was more important to have the larger room. And the newer ones seem to have the smaller rooms, but more amenities. So you just kind of have to decide what fits your lifestyle better. For me, I'm more of a homebody. I like to relax. I maybe do a little cooking. I have a space for an office. That was more important than taking my laptop down to a shared workspace in the building. That stuff is important, but the room was more important for me. So number 6, utilities and internet. Electricity in Bangkok, I find, usually runs 5 to 6 baht per unit. but some landlords will charge a higher rate. Always confirm if you're going to pay directly or through the building. And I made sure that I was paying directly to the electric company. Also, make sure you check the Wi-Fi speed. If it's slow, see if you can install your own fiber connection with True or AIS. I went with True, but really either or is just as good. And number 7, negotiating and getting the best deal. Don't be afraid to negotiate. I went back and forth about 3 times before I settled on the rent and also a few of the items within the condo, especially if you're staying 6 months or more. When you get to that year point, then you can negotiate a little bit harder. 6 months, they're not going to want to negotiate as much. But a year or longer, you can really negotiate. Like lower monthly rent, free cleaning or internet, fresh paint, maybe a new mattress. And if you're looking at multiple units in the same building, that gives you a little bit of leverage. Landlords know that you have options, and that's exactly what I did. I looked at about 5 or 6 units in this building, and I just went back and said, hey, unit, I'm just making up a number, unit 402 is this much for the same square meters, same setup. You know, and this one actually I liked a little better because I had a little nicer decor and a little nicer furniture. And they came back and said, okay, we'll give it to you for this. So yeah, if you look at multiple units within one condo, that gives you some negotiating power. Just remember that Bangkok has more condos than renters. So really, you're in control. So last couple of items here, common mistakes to avoid. Here are the biggest mistakes that I see foreigners make when renting here in Bangkok. And again, this could apply really anywhere in Southeast Asia. Renting too far from public transit. That's like the number one regret. Every expat I've talked to in Bangkok, if they have a regret or they want to move from their condo, most of them will say, I'm too far from the BTS. I'm too far from the MRT. I hate having to wait on the shuttle to get to the BTS or hopping on a grab bike to get to the BTS or go where I want to go. So that's the number one. Number 2, not checking the water pressure or the air condition before signing. I've had other people tell me that, yeah, you know, I like my unit, but the air condition is just really not that great. Really doesn't do a great job of cooling off the place. And they've already signed the lease and the aircon's not broke. It's just an older unit and it just doesn't cool that well. I made sure I got both units, both good units, both working very well. Number 3 would be paying deposits before seeing the unit. Again, I've had viewers reach out to me and already say, hey, I'm going to be moving to Bangkok. Hook me up with your agent and maybe she can video a few places and I'll go ahead and send the deposit. Don't do that. There's no need for that. Get a hotel for 5 nights and start looking immediately on day 1 and you'll find a place and you can move in very quickly. Trust me. Don't put a deposit down to a place you haven't seen personally. Just don't do it. And number 4 would be ignoring hidden costs like electricity markups or parking, if you have a car or a motorbike or things like that. Number 5, and this can be a problem here in Bangkok, forgetting about flood-prone areas during the rainy season here in Bangkok. So again, take your time. Don't rush because something looks good on Facebook Marketplace. Take your time, look at multiple places, make your decision, and you'll be good. And number 9, my final tips, guys. Bangkok has thousands of condos, but finding the right one comes down to location, management, and transparency. If you do your homework, visit in person, and stay patient, you can easily find a modern, comfortable place in the heart of the city without breaking your budget. So guys, if you found this video helpful, make sure you hit the thumbs up, hit that like button, subscribe, and check out my next video where I share how much it costs to live in Bangkok versus the Philippines. And don't forget, at the end of this month, I will do a full breakdown in detail of just my monthly living costs here in Bangkok. Not a comparison video, but strictly here in Bangkok, breaking down everything from a haircut to a latte. So thanks guys for watching. Don't forget to check out GIOINTHEGO.net, GIOINTHEGO.com. Click on Geo Travel Essentials. Pick yourself up one of these little travel adapters and all the stuff that I highly recommend for living or traveling out here in Southeast Asia or really anywhere for that matter. Thanks again. I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.
Southeast Asia calling me instead. Bangkok nights and Bali shores. Sick of dreaming, want something more. Pack your bags, don't hesitate. Geo, let's go before it's too late. Time keeps slipping